Yep.
Malcolm, only a couple of days since we were here, but Newcastle United came out on top against Brighton. Tough game that on paper, but Newcastle in the end made it look easy.
Yeah, left it all to the last 2 minutes, but why not? But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that the drive is behind the side all the way. Even when things aren't going too well, they sort of find a resolve within themselves and get battling back. And I'm looking forward to, now that we know just 1 point, what I really would love to see is Newcastle go and attack both games and look to get 6 points and and keep Man United behind us. Yeah, let them see our arse, not our face.
You played in the number 9 shirt, you're a legend up here, and rightly so. Callum Wilson wears the number 9 shirt now. What a spell he's found, hasn't he, since April. And listening to his interview with Andy Sixsmith on Newcastle's official channel this week, he said that when he came back from the World Cup, he was tired and it took a while for him to recover. Then being dropped and spending that little bit of time on the bench, it made him angry, and he used the anger in the right way. And since then, since April, he's scored 11 goals at some return, and he's hoping he's going to hit 20 before the end of the season. But how impressed have you been by the man who wears the number 9 shirt this season?
I have been hugely impressed, and since he's come back from the World Cup, his actual goal-scoring rate has been better than the Man City fellas. Which is quite incredible, and so well done him, because we've got other people scoring goals as well, and I like his attitude. Also, what I would say is that he has that ability just to see the chance at its very first moment, and he takes it, and he's able to just keep a cool, calm head on him. And just comfortably finish. You don't see him squandering it high over the bar or anything like that. So yes, he's an expert finisher, and Isak on one side, and whether it's Almiron or Murphy on the other. That front three is working great for me. They really are. And leaving Wilson as the target man. He's the only target man we have in the club. He's happy to play with his back to goal until the game goes beyond, and then he turns and he's straight on goal. You're not going to see him deviate and go out corner flags and what have you. He just sticks right in front of goal. Most direct player that there is, other than perhaps Haaland.
The club have just had a photograph shoot on the pitch with Kieran Trippier. They've given him Player of the Season at the club. Who's your Player of the Season been?
Trippier.
In all honesty, what a bloody question that is this season. Nick Pope would have a claim. Trippier, yes. The two centre halves have been absolutely tremendous at times. Sharp, fabulous, and then in midfield, we've had an absolute wealth of great performances from different people, and then of course up front. Isak, what a season he's had, albeit he hasn't played on a regular basis, but when he has played, by heavens, what a difference he makes. Oh, dear me. So, who would I... In all honesty, I think overall, despite the fact that he's probably played a lot less games than others, I'd go for Isak, because I think the skills that he's shown have been absolutely fantastic. He frightens defenders to death, and I think that he also makes himself available all of the time to his teammates, and I really do feel that Isaac has been the most impressive of players out there. Done great, scored goals, made goals. Can't ask for any more than that. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing him playing a full season next year.
1 point away from Champions League, and if we get there, we're going to need new players. Eddie Howe in his press conference said that in an ideal world, he needs to have 2 11s, you know, a team that he can put out on a regular basis. He said that squad rotation has been a part of this season, but next season it's going to be more important to have squad rotation, playing 2 games a week. Where do you need to strengthen, Malcolm?
Yeah, what you've got to remember with the Champions League, of course, it's not just 2 games a week, but it's all the travelling that the Champions League brings as well. Travelling is really tiring, and you're 2 or 3 days away, and so yes, you need a big squad. We're limited still in what we're able to do, and you look at Manchester City, and they can put out 2 separate 11s pretty close in standard to each other. Newcastle United are a long way away from that, and it's going to take time. The money is there, but it's the limitations that are being set on everybody with these limited rules. So if I were Eddie Howe, I would be explaining this all out to the players and saying, you need to take a big deep breath before the first game of the season, and for 9 months you just give everything that you have, because that's what's going to be needed. There isn't going to be the opportunity to rotate in the way that Manchester City do, in the way that Arsenal can. And so, yeah, we're going to be up against it next season. But from what I've seen this season of the attitude of the players, they'll love it. Absolutely love it. And really, really put everything in to do well in it. So, and also, I've only just found out, but it's straight into the group stage. Yeah. It's straight into the group stage, none of this qualification and all that. So, yeah, it's going to be one hell of a competition for us next season, in all of the different competitions that we're in. It's going to be a real old battle, but by heavens, if I were playing today, I would be loving every moment.
Some people say Arteta for Manager of the Year. Some people say Pep Guardiola, especially if he gets the treble. Has Eddie Howe been Manager of the Year?
Well, I saw in the Mail, one of the journalists gave it to Unai Emery at Aston Villa. What? The difference that Eddie Howe has made to Newcastle United is greater than the difference from last season of any of the other clubs at all in the Premiership. So for me, there is only one manager of the season, because what he has done for this club has been quite incredible, and far greater a job overall than any other manager has put in over these last 12 months.
War Flags have got a huge display again tonight, and each stand's going to have a big surfer flag. Fans are asked to get up there a quarter of the way to get the proceedings underway. How important have War Flags and their initiative been this season, do you think, for the team?
Oh, hugely important, because players respond to a really fantastic atmosphere. It makes them feel taller, it makes them feel quicker, and boy, do you want to play when you're in this electric atmosphere that's all in support of you. What War Flags have done is incredible. But also we have to take into consideration how the board of directors have got that all organised and in place for this atmosphere to be created. And by heavens, This is the best atmosphere I've ever experienced in any stadium playing for any team. I've never done anything quite like it. And if this doesn't get you on your toes and raring to go, then nothing will.
Okay, Newcastle play Leicester tonight. Leicester have still got something to play for. They're involved in this relegation battle, which will see them and either Everton or Leeds go down with Southampton. How do you see tonight's game going? Is it a potential banana skin, or should Newcastle really be looking at this and saying, you know, regardless of whatever team we put out, we should be giving these a seat tonight?
It's what Newcastle allow it to be, right? And in all honesty, it should be an annihilation. Leicester, they will be pooing their pants for sure. At the thought of what to expect out there tonight. They're in a dire, bad situation. They can't get their game going at all. And so, for me, if Newcastle just needing 1 point to get in the Champions League, if they don't go out and absolutely murder Leicester, I shall be holding a steward's inquiry. You know, we are so much better than them. And when you're third in the table, when you just need 1 point to qualify for the Champions League, if you don't want to get out on the pitch for 90 minutes and go and commit absolute murder, then you shouldn't be there.
I think Newcastle are going to win tonight. I think they're going to win 2-0. I think Rob Byron, the man who does the music, will be playing the Champions League at the end of the game. What's your prediction?
I should be disappointed if it's not at least 3-0, maybe 4-0. And I can see a Leicester capitulation. You know, as soon as Newcastle get the first goal, watch the Leicester heads seriously drop. Yeah, I'm going to take 4-0.
Malcolm will be in after the game, so if you can get in afterwards, come and see him. If not, we will be back next season. We've also got the bar next door, which will be called Lucky's, which will be open next season. For everybody who's come in over the pre-season before the match, just want to thank you guys. Want to thank the bar staff and the management who've been fantastic at the Dog and Parrots, and the glass collectors, and the girls who do the shots. Dog and Parrots a family, it's a good family, and we just want to thank everybody for being involved. So thank you very much. Put your hands together with Supermac.
Studio.
It's all on that playlist. I've done my own playlist. Thank you, mate.